Should I accept and receive DK Metcalf, or should I decline and stick with Deebo? Accept or decline. Yeah, everyone vote. And I want to hear what you two got to say with what Drew and Mike has to say. Start talking, guys.
Do you want me to say what I think now?
Yeah.
I think that Deebo is definitely the better of the two players. I say that not as just a Niners fan and I'm biased, but I've watched both of them play very closely. I've had both on each of my fantasy teams. And Deebo is, even though he is in a technically more run-based offense, I guess you would say, I think Shanahan is creative enough to get him open and use him in a variety of different ways. As you know, like he's one of the best like running backs, not even just as a receiver, just like his production as a running back this year is up there. Also, you know, an all-pro wide receiver. He's great when he gets the ball in the open field. He's hard to tackle. The first player usually misses the tackle.
Such an understatement.
He's hard to tackle. It's just very, yeah. I mean, he's just he plays the receiver position like a running back, you know, and he's just the better player, I think, more dynamic player. Metcalf is 1 year younger. He's 24. Deebo's 25. He's an athletic specimen, but I just think that he's more of a diva as well. And when he doesn't get the ball, he gets pouty. And he always like gets in fights with the other cornerback. It's always like him trying to like dominate the opposing corner. And, you know, I just think a lot of things have to go his way in order for him to be successful. But Deebo can do it in any situation.
That was a really, really good breakdown. I mean, I like the fact that you talked about Metcalf being kind of a diva too, because you see it when he gets some of those like unnecessary roughness penalties on certain corners, like Jalen Ramsey, right when they're going at it. It's like
Marshawn Lattimore, yeah.
It's like, man, just get over yourself and try to get downfield, run a good route, make a good play. And then on the other hand, you have Shanahan who's like building an offense around Deebo Samuel. It's just, I mean, as a Niner fan too, obviously you have that side to it. But just strictly football, I know I had the same trade actually come in the Devy League. I know I asked your guys' opinions and I got it pretty straightforward, but it's just like, man, Deebo is just too much of a talent right now to sell basically high to buy low on Metcalf. And especially if you're trying to win the playoffs right now, that's a hard thing to swallow there.
All right, so let me break it down. Okay, so the age difference, if I did the math right, is about 1 year and 10 months. So Deebo Samuel is almost 2 years older than Metcalf. Deebo is 25 years old. DK Metcalf is 24 years old. And what Mike was saying, the great point, like he's talking about a lot of things have to DK has to rely on a lot of different factors. I'm just going to dive back into that. Like he's tied to Russell Wilson. Like who's his quarterback next year? Right? Who's his quarterback in the future? Because he needs one, right? And remember, this is the guy I did a deep dive analysis on as a prospect, and I nailed it. Okay. So he needs that quarterback. He needs that offense. He needs a lot of things to go right. And that's one of the reasons I vouched for him on that video and liked him, because I said this is the perfect team for him. The Seahawks, Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll. Now things have changed. Obviously, the team in that dynamic's not as hot now. And that's why I'm worried. Like, is that like what is the future with this team? I feel like Deebo Samuel. Mike, you played quarterback for what was that?
Middle school. Oh, and intramurals.
Intramurals, yes.
Yeah.
Drew,
I was the referee.
There you go. Mike played quarterback in intramurals in college, and Drew was reffing. And I think Deebo would put up pretty good numbers, pretty close to the same numbers if Mike Mattal was quarterback.
That's Mike's actually got a pretty good arm, though. I'll give him credit.
I'm one of the best Filipino quarterbacks out there.
He's basically Russell Wilson. Not as good of a passer, maybe, but he's very similar to Russell Wilson. Yeah. And which is funny. That's crazy. You look like Russell Wilson. You play like Russell Wilson.
You need another parody video.
Yeah.
They don't know about Mike's parody videos. They were so classic back
They're
in the
gonna be
day.
like, "Who's this? Is this Russell
We gotta
Wilson or
play
Tiger
one.
Woods?"
Seriously.
You're not gonna know.
We're
They don't
due.
get it.
No, we're not gonna go that far off topic.
Oh man,
Anyway,
that's great.
DK Metcalf relies on a lot of things. He needs a lot of things to go right. That's why I was like, look, he's not. It just was a mess at Ole Miss. That's why I liked him. I was like, watch what he does with Russell Wilson. Watch what he does in this offense. Watch what he does when smart people use him the right way. And I don't know if that's gonna last, right? Like if you get Tyreek Hill in Dynasty, he's tied to Mahomes for a long time. What is it, 5 years he's tied to him? I mean, that's basically his whole career. So
yeah, Mahomes will be there forever. Tyreek's got a contract that's pretty long, I think.
Yeah, and he's a wide receiver. I'm just saying, like he's tied. I don't know what's up with the Seahawks, and I don't know about DK right now. So yeah, that's cool to buy low on a younger player. But as far as Deebo Samuel, like I'm just gonna ride the wave. I feel like he's great. There's another prospect that I loved actually. Like if we'll go back to this, I was telling you guys about I love Deebo Samuel. Like he's great, and I was saying like, hey man, other than the injury worries, like I really like him this year. I mean, I made a video about him. It's just a video, just kind of looks terrible because it got overshadowed by me disliking Eckler. Everything else in that video was great, but let's throw that video in the freaking trash because I put a big X next to Eckler.